Hey everyone, welcome back to Geeks vs. Geeks. Today we're diving into the world of retro with some new handhelds that have been released by Hyper Megatech, a company that is related to Evercade. They came out with their first product, and it is indeed a pocket-size retro handheld. It's been making some waves in the retro community because actually it seems to be delivering a lot more than what people have expected for the price, and it actually packs a lot of features. Now, before we continue, I'd like to remind you to please click subscribe and hit that bell so that way you know exactly when we're back with a new video. And of course, if you'd rather sit down and relax a little bit and have a more in-depth review, you can check everything on our website, geeksvsgeeks.com, where you can read the full written article. Now that is out of the way, let's get into it. First off, let's talk about design and build quality. The Super Pocket comes in two versions. There's the TAITO version and the CAPCOM version. Each of those have their own built-in games. The form factor is practically the same, but there are some differences in the way that the color design is. And of course, if you take, like me, the limited edition, you're going to get a whole different case. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that it has a very Game Boyish look to it. It has the buttons on front, of course, your D-pads right here. You have your clicky buttons and everything else. And it has a good feel to it. It feels very solid. You can also see here that in this limited edition version, we have that sort of see-through in the case, the clear case that you saw in the Game Boy Color special editions back in the day. And it's really cool that it kind of brings back that feel for those cases. Of course, the normal editions don't have the clear case. They are more of a full color. But there is still a distinct look between the Capcom edition and the TAITO edition, no matter which version that you buy. Other than that, they're going to be exactly the same in the layout and the buttons, right? So we have at the bottom over here, we are actually having a port for your headphones and charging port USB-C, and it does come with a cable and then your on and off button. And at the side, we have our volume buttons. And as you can see, the screen is very bright. It's very easy to look at. There's a 2.8-inch IPS, and it's surprisingly bright, and it actually has great colors, as you can see. Very well, pixel perfect gaming on the go. It is also very loud. Surprisingly loud. I'll see if I can turn it up a little bit so we can actually hear some of that while we're playing. But for a small front speaker, it actually has a lot of noise, as you can maybe hear. All right, there's the speaker right there. That's all it is. It's not stereo on that, at least not on the device itself. But it's very loud. And if you're in person, you probably want to turn it down if you're out in public or in the room with your friends or family, unless they all want to hear it. That, of course, is not a problem. So I'm holding up, of course, the Capcom edition here. It has a certain amount of games. I'll put that on the screen, or at least in the description. The TAITO edition is there as well and has its own games. And again, it has its own unique look. And let me see if we can get that in focus for you. There we go. And you can just quickly scroll through that. Now, all of these devices, when you buy them, have something else that's really cool. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But what I thought was really easy or really cool when you start this, especially for beginning gamers or when you don't have much time or you don't want that big of a challenge, you can put all your games in one go in easy mode. So if I switch this, it actually sets the whole device on an easy mode, which makes it a little less punishing while you're playing. But other than that, the gaming experience is exactly the same. Other than that, you have your normal language settings, your display settings, sound. Everything is available in the settings through a very cool, intuitive menu. So let's address that Evercade that I mentioned. First of all, as I said, Hyper Megatech and Evercade are related to each other. They are, one is a sister company or their parent company. I'm not entirely sure, but Hyper Megatech wants to focus a little bit on different things than just only gaming. Surprisingly enough, though, they start with a pocket gaming device, but you know they are delivering on this product. Now, as I said, the Capcom Edition and the TAITO Edition have their own games. But that's not all. You can actually look at the back. You can take this off. And if you look very carefully, that's already the shape of a cartridge, right? And it actually gives you a nice QR code. And it says Evercade, get more games. And for those that are not familiar, Evercade has been for a while now producing their own cartridges with a collection of retro games as well as some indie games that are sometimes hard to get. not easy to find. And they've been doing that with this handheld, the Evercade EXP, or with their console version, which is called the Versus. All of those are compatible with these cartridges. And I can take this cartridge and I can just now put that inside my Super Pocket. It loads the games in, and I will have complete access to a whole new library of games. Up to 500 games are available, and the cool thing is they come in their own case. You can collect them. They have a booklet with them that you can read, just like the old times. The cases are not very big. Again, they're compared to in the Pocket. This is about the size of the case. And so you can collect your own games. And I know what you're going to say, because a lot of people say this. Look, I can go on TikTok, I can go on Facebook, I can go on YouTube, wherever, check Amazon, and there's plenty of handhelds that are probably the same price, a little cheaper, a little bit more expensive, and have any ROM game I want on there. This prevents you from having to do ROM games. It doesn't do that, but you have officially licensed games, and you get to, again, hold something physical, which is what a lot of people are missing. So it really plays in that nostalgia of people that would like to get their own games on the shelf, being able to take a cartridge out, read the booklet, and so they are feeding into that as well. Now, the handheld does not have Bluetooth or wireless built in, so there are no real upgrades that way. Maybe there could be an update through the USB-C, I'm not entirely sure, but basically the games that are on here is what you're going to get, and everything else has to come through these Evercade cartridges. Now, all these games, whether they're built in or from the cartridge itself, will have the features to save state anytime that you want to. You know, having that save state and be able to save the game and load it in anytime really is great for those people that are on the go, in a hurry, don't have hours and hours of gaming. At any time you save the game where you left, you come back, load it up, and can continue on. Now, talk a little bit more about the battery life. The Super Pocket skips, like I said, out on the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, but that does help with saving some battery time. It takes about 4 hours to drain it at full gameplay, so that's pretty decent for such a small device. And the recharging through the USB-C is pretty quick, so you just plug it in right away and continue on with your gaming. If you have two, you just keep switching back and forth. You know, you can have a lot of gaming time. And why do I say two? Because these little things are just $60 a piece. 50 quid if you're in the UK. Not bad. Not a bad trade-off for a small device like this with a tons of gaming fun. So in the end, like I said, it is an exciting device. You have a lot of features coming in a small package for a really reasonable price. They're easy to get delivered. You can get them from Funstock in the UK. They send them across the world. You can get them at Best Buy, probably Amazon as well. Just look at your local retailer for these devices. They make great stocking stuffers. I mean, the season is just perfect, right? Again, robust build, very exciting. It's just fun to play. It is a fun to play device. You just grab it, literally put it in your pocket. The name does it justice. You take it out anywhere you are, in the bus, the train, the plane, in your office, really quick play a game, and put it back in the drawer. It's super fun to play at any time. On top of that, the fact that you can use Evercade cartridges and have like 400 to 500 extra games currently available, more coming every day. Heck, Duke Nukem is coming out soon. You can play that on this Retro Pocket. Play Duke Nukem, the original games, the 3D, all going to be available on here. Now, again, it's a little bit more expensive to get all those games than just downloading a ROM, but it's good to know that you're supporting studios, that you're supporting the retro community, and you have officially licensed hardware that should never go away. You can take it 20 years from now and still plug it in and play the game. Like I said, whether you're a seasoned veteran, big into retro, new into retro, if you just want something to go with it, I find this complements actually the Evercade ecosystem really well as another device if you don't want to lug around the EXP. Not that it's that big, but this makes it even easier. Again, put it in your pocket and you're on your way. Check it out, guys. Go find your favorite retailer. Give it a shot. I don't think you'd be disappointed. I was very, very impressed by it for the price point and what you get. There's a lot in this package you should really check out. So if you enjoyed this review, I know it's a little loosey-goosey, but if you enjoyed it, you know, again, keep coming back for more, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below to see what excites you about this device and what kind of games you're looking forward to playing on it. Anyways, that's it for the review. See you next time. Stay safe, stay geek, and have a happy time gaming. Bye, everybody.